Hi everyone, this is Iren Tete coming to you from my studio in Gainesville, Florida to answer some questions about my work with Gallery Urbane. The last few months have been marked by constant change and uncertainty. I navigate this and continue to do so by an attempt at reckless optimism. It definitely doesn't always work, which is why I have to be patient with myself and my work. You can see this in the two new floof pieces in the show, and I made those by creating hundreds of porcelain spikes and then individually inserting them into the body of the piece. My processes are definitely becoming more time-consuming and immersive, but I am consciously allowing myself to adapt and for the work to evolve. I think about time constantly and in different ways. I think about the brutalist buildings in Eastern Europe designed by unknown architects that hold an accumulation of memories but are affected by a collective memory. I think about the shadows that live in a Baragon building and how they change throughout the day. I approach this with somewhat of a suspension of disbelief as I imagine shadows as creator of form. I think of my sculptures as environments that someone will inhabit, which is why I consider the shadows that they will cast. Some days I think of myself inhabiting the space between a sculptor and a shadow architect. I'm equally interested in the distinctive and often rigid forms of brutalist architecture and the malleable, elusive forms of shadows. Their intersection is what I think about and attempt to capture through my sculptures. The tension between rigidity and softness arises from my desire to create a solid physical form while suggesting a fleeting poetic idea. Let's Go, Let Go is slightly different. The form is based on the Bohr model of a nitrogen atom depicting a dense nucleus surrounded by orbiting electrons. The Bohr model is similar to solar systems, but dictated by electrostatic energy rather than by gravity. It is a form suggestive of another form, and I am fascinated by the thread that connects ideas, systems, and objects that seem so fundamentally different. The surfaces are equally as important as the forms themselves. For the show, I utilized a wide range of materials and surfaces, ranging from colored porcelains to speckled glazes to silver and gold leaf to sand treated as a glaze, among others. These new surfaces stem from the shift in physical location, most recently from Canada to Florida, that leads to questions about the different categories of space and how they interact. The silver leaf is a new fascination. In Changing and Unchanging, it highlights the interior of the arch, while in Phosophene Memory, it coats the entire piece. The leaf is suggestive. It is almost mirror and almost fog. It is also connected to time, as the reflection is always changing, and light becomes both an active participant and creator of space. The sand glaze finish is something that I have been working towards for quite a bit of time. It speaks to snow-covered mountains that are somehow similar to the white sand dunes in Florida. It is also reminiscent of stucco and layers of material that show the history of a building. The materials and surfaces in the show are varied but unified in that they are suggestive and can be interpreted in various ways. Shadows are mesmerizing because they have the innate potential to transform. They offer clues to what the object being cast could be, but they also offer a moment for tangled logic to be accessed. I see divergent and even irrational systems to be as valuable as logical ones. They function as poems in the way that they suggest or offer a beginning rather than an ending. Shadows are a whisper, a suggestion, a clue. Ultimately, they are a possibility. I want both my work and my thoughts to exist in the mystery that uncertainty offers. I spend time thinking about areas where logic is complicated and even irrational. One way I approach this is through the titles, with the goal of exposing some of the logical gray areas to the viewer. They serve as clues and an entry point to understanding each piece.